Divine rising, divine rising. So I guess I'm live over here, just not. All right, we're gonna get started here in just a minute. See. Let me go check it over here and see if I can swap over here. Okay. Yeah, I'm live here. Okay. So I am live there. It's just I don't have no video. All right, let me go ahead and get this shared out real quick over here. And we'll get started. Get started. Hope everybody is having a great start. We are in the 5th day of the month. Let's go ahead and share this to this page. It's not lazy, this. I had a really good workout this morning. It was a big day, leg day. If you are tuning in with me right now, let me know. And we're going to kick this off in just a moment. This is your first time ever in this live come across your news feed, and you stopping by, say hello, say hello. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Shout out your city and your state, or if you don't want to shout out your city, shout out your state. How it works. And one more spot. Here we go. Let me share this out. All right. I think I have shared it out to all the places. All the places. Divine Rising. Whoever just popped on live with me, let me know where you're tuning in from. Shout out your city and your state. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I'm gonna go ahead and get this started. I got the wrong thing up. Oh no. Hey Tori, hey, what's up? Congratulations to you on your promotion. Yeah, shout out to you. Um, hey. So we're gonna be getting into this conversation on this morning. If you hadn't read the oh, what's on this? Hold on. I don't know, my camera not showing up over on this one, but that's fine. But if you are looking at today's this today's topic is purpose requires responsibility. And so that is basically in conjunction with every other live that I have went is like we I call it the Quiet Queen's operating system. And so they all go hand in hand. So if you seen those slides before, they should still be on for the replay. So just go back and check them out. But today, like I said, purpose requires responsibility. Purpose isn't fulfilled through intention alone. It's fulfilled through ownership. And so it's one thing to have a vision, it's another to discover your purpose, but eventually purpose asks something of us. It asks us to take responsibility for the life we are building. And inside Quiet Queen's Academy, responsibility isn't about pressure or perfection. It's about intentional choosing ownership over excuses and alignment over avoidance. And so today's Quiet Queen's principle, and I come with a principle every day, just recently here, but responsibility transforms purpose into progress. And so again, divine rising quiet queens, over the past 2 mornings, we've talked about vision and purpose. Vision helps us see what's possible. Purpose reminds us why it matters. But today, I like to ask another question. Once you know your purpose, who is responsible for living it? Sometimes we wait for the right opportunity, the right season, the right circumstance, but leadership quietly begins the moment we take ownership of what's already in our hands. Something to think about. And so, one of the lessons that's continued to shape me is realizing that purpose doesn't remove responsibility, it actually increases it. The clearer I become about the woman I'm building toward, the more intentional I have to become about my daily choices. And so, not because anyone was watching, but because I was becoming someone I wanted to trust. We know about trust, right? And that changed the way I view responsibility. It stopped feeling heavy and started feeling empowering, right? And so the Black Queen's principle is responsibility transforms purpose into progress. And purpose provides direction, responsibility provides movement. So we got to get moving, right? And so we're going to go ahead and tap into these points, but I got to make sure. Yeah, I got it. Okay. I didn't hit it. I was like, I forgot to do something. Got to hit the go live button. All right. So, first point is responsibility begins with ownership. Growth begins when we stop waiting for someone else to create the life we're capable of building. And in my perspective, I've learned that ownership doesn't mean controlling everything. It means taking responsibility for what belongs to me. My mindset, my choices, my habits, my responses. The more I focus on those things, the less energy I spend wishing circumstances were different. And so here is the first reflection of this. Where in your life are you waiting for something outside of yourself to change? And what part of that situation is already within your influence? And so pretty much most of these things is going to be internal. They're not ever external. So where in your life are you waiting for something outside of yourself to change? And what part of that situation is already within your influence? I said within, so it's within. All right. So once we take ownership, purpose becomes much more practical because purpose isn't only something we believe, it's something we practice. So it's something that we're going to continuously do on a day to day basis, right? And so I need to take that off. I forgot to silence my phone. And so the second part of this, responsibility builds trust, right? So every time we honor a commitment we've made, excuse me, what? Let me get my words together. Every time we honor a commitment we've made to ourselves, we strengthen self trust. So every time we honor a commitment we've made to ourselves, we strengthen self trust. And so one of the reasons I value consistency isn't because it impresses other people, because at the end of the day, it's not about other people. It's because every commitment I keep reminds me that I can depend on me, myself. And responsibility isn't about proving something, it's about becoming someone you trust. And so here's the second reflection um, of the day. What promise to yourself deserves your attention today? So, what promise to yourself deserves your attention today? And how does honoring that promise strengthen your confidence? You're welcome. I just thought I got a little delay over here. Okay. So, as responsibility strengthens self trust, sometimes something deeper happens or deeper begins to happen. And we stop seeing responsibility as pressure and begin seeing it as stewardship. We talked about stewardship, I think last week. Talked about stewardship last week, or maybe the week before. Hey, Glow Glow, that's the bestie on. Hey, girl, what's up? I hope you got some rest. Hope you got some rest yesterday. And thank you for the love. Thank you. Love you back. And so point three, into the third part of this, responsibility creates freedom. And Lord knows we all want freedom, right? We want freedom. So many people believe responsibility limits freedom. I've discovered the opposite. Intentional responsibility creates greater freedom because it allows us to build a life by design instead of by default. And I'm gonna repeat that again. Intention, um, Intentional responsibility creates greater freedom because it allows us to build a life by design instead of by default, right? So this is having no purpose. Yeah, great morning. Great morning to you. Divine rising. Yep, I feel you. All right. It's gonna get better. You're gonna get in the routine of it pretty soon. So inside Quiet Queens Academy, we talked about structure, clarity, identity, alignment, stewardship, and trust. Responsibility brings all of those doctrines into daily practice. And I like to say clarity before structure because clarity always comes before structure. So when we talk about, it's clarity, structure, identity, alignment, stewardship, and trust. So it's where responsibility brings us all of those doctrines into daily practice, and it's where philosophy begins or becomes lifestyle. I said begin. And so here's our third reflection of this rain. I got all these screens up. So, what responsibility are you grateful to carry today? So, what responsibility are you grateful to carry today? And how has ownership created more peace instead of more pressure? And so, here's also the Quiet Queen's integration. Today's conversation wasn't really about responsibility, it was about ownership because vision helps us see, purpose gives us direction, responsibility moves us into action, action supported by structure, guided by clarity, rooted in identity, protected through alignment, strengthened by discernment, supported by healthy boundaries, sustained through stewardship, held together by trust. And this is the Quiet Queens operating system working together. And so every doctrine serves the next. And so we have went through several doctrines. And so they pretty much all this works together and it creates what I call is the Quiet Queen's operating system. And so many people believe I'll become more responsible when life becomes easier. And so inside Quiet Queens Academy, we ask a different question. What if responsibility isn't something that happens after success? What if responsibility is one of the things that prepares you for it? Responsibility isn't about carrying the weight of the world. It's about faithfully carrying what belongs to you. Again, it's all about identity. It's all about you. And so here is a practical integration for you on today. So identify one responsibility you've been postponing. Just one, not because you're incapable, but because it's uncomfortable. And ask yourself, what is one small step, that's a small step, I can take today to honor this responsibility? Then take that step. Progress is often built through simple actions of ownership. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the love, love. Appreciate it. And in closing, closing reflection here. I'll leave you with this question. If your future self thanked you for one responsibility you chose to honor today, what would it be? Sit with that because leadership isn't built in one extraordinary moment. It is built through ordinary actions of ownership. And so, in today's conversation, if today's conversation resonated with you, I'd love to hear your perspective. What's one area of your life where taking ownership has created meaningful growth? Your reflection may encourage another quiet queen to recognize that responsibility isn't a burden. It can become one of the greatest expressions of purpose. And so I want to say thank you for spending another morning with me. And I'll see you on tomorrow as we continue building the Quiet Queens operating system, one conversation at a time. You all have a divine day. And I'll see you on tomorrow.